It's the JT Cho Show! 10, episode 121 of the JT Show. I'm Jake, JT. This is Cut. Who are you saying happy birthday to?
I'm saying happy birthday to Mia Khalifa.
Is it really her birthday?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, mine goes out to she played in Where the Millers and Unfabulous. Pepper will love that reference.
Oh,
Emma Roberts.
Yeah.
Shout out to my honorable mention though was Elizabeth Banks.
That was gonna be my other one, and then I saw Mia Khalifa.
Happy birthday, Mia, and
happy birthday,
Emma.
Mia.
See, those you'll have to clip out and make them into the TikToks.
Yeah.
And then tag.
It'll be a whole series.
And then you can tag that celebrity. You're like, oh, they're nice people.
Yeah,
They
Mia
know.
Khalifa's a very well-known podcaster
analyst.
and sports analyst. Yeah.
I started playing defense against Deshaun Watson.
Did you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, he was wearing a Florida State jersey. This was before all the stuff.
Good for Deshaun.
Yeah. You know,
Good for Deshaun.
she got dunked on.
Yeah.
Let's start off with the dumbest story of the week, but we can it's a loop to wrap it all up. If you're a committed JT Show watcher, I've been talking about the Dallas Zoo.
Oh yeah.
So I
I've
won't
been
say
staying off my phone, trying not to spoil it for me. I've been watching it right now.
yeah. So if you're like hanging on the edge of your seats, like I was, it was a 24-year-old man who got caught. They found some of the animals in a close abandoned home. He literally the monkeys. He literally just took the monkeys and put them in a regular backpack and like walked off with them. A day later,
How big are these monkeys? I thought they were like monkeys, like big monkeys.
No, they're like I'd say the size of a spider monkey's a little smaller.
Oh, so like a little like the size of a beer? Like
For the belly.
Like the body?
Yeah, like a skinnier body. Not a big ass fucking.
I thought they were like little chimps or something, like little.
No, they weren't hefty. They're just like little ones you can.
I imagined the leopard did it, and the chimps just like rode out on the leopard. That's what I thought happened.
The leopard was found a day later close to the enclosure. That was Nova, but now he's facing a lot of charges. I don't know his name. I don't really care. But hey,
Crazy.
Dallas Zoo solved the mystery.
That's pretty wild.
And he would have gotten away with it too if he wasn't so bad at it.
Yeah,
because he left them. He just like left them in a house right by it. And they're like, we found him.
I mean, for like 3 days, he was doing all right, or like a week, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. At least
he could have gotten out of here
with a couple monkeys.
Yeah, he could have gotten out of here. There's a black market for fucking monkeys.
I'm so glad you said black market. I've been into ancient like old technology.
Oh yeah.
So
you've been watching shit.
So there's a village in the Middle East that started digging up their homes because they're like, holy shit, there's shit down here that's worth money, and they're looking for mummies. Do you know how much mummies go for on the black market?
I'm gonna guess 50 grand.
If I'm right, it's crazy. It's 1 to 5 billion.
What? Doesn't matter who it is.
Well, it's got to be somebody important. It can't just be a wrapped up dead body.
What if it's unidentifiable?
Well, they're finding tombs underneath their homes and they're finding like huge things. And like the guy said,
I was gonna say, bro, bury me in your children's backyard, and then your children's children will be billionaires.
Yeah, but
it might not mean much at that point, but
out of these, I saw it on TikTok, and because the one guy was like, I don't know, 1 or 2 million. He's like, billion. And he's like, why are these rich people so fascinated with like these dead bodies?
They're old.
But it was cool though, because this one I was watching, it was the secrets of the it's a tomb that they discovered, and it was the most preserved, and they were like first shots of like 90s looking, 80s looking film, seeing into a tomb, and the announcer's like, and maybe understanding ancient civilization. I was like, yo, this shit was so well made, dude. So well made, dude. But yeah, that's what I've been watching, man. And that's mummies go for a big fucking price.
That's crazy. I was thinking like 50 G's. I was thinking, I know like a working heart goes for like 50. 'Cause I've seen those memes.
50,000.
Yeah, I've seen those memes.
Testicles go for
And I was
30.
like, man, a mummy doesn't have any of those things left. It's just a thing.
I will tell you right now, in a legal market,
I know mammoth tusks. Yeah, fucked up mammoth tusks go for like 250. I should have known it was going to be a
they're around here too.
mammoth tusk.
Ann Arbor students just in 2022 dug up one in a farm field.
Oh shit!
So like my high school
They're out there using fucking radar trying to find some mammoth
in
shit.
Jonesville, a family that went to my high school
Sweep your farm.
dug up a mammoth in their backyard.
What were they growing on that farm? Some mammoth potatoes.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of farm it was. The one at high school though, they had like
That's some OOG.
they had a
mammoth
pond in their back. They man-made a pond, and as they're excavating all the shit, they found a mammoth tusk.
That's insane.
Right here in Jones.
That's insane.
It's
you know what's
crazy.
shitty about that is the school's gonna get all that money.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the worst part.
Mhm. it's like another story too.
If
Where
I owned that farm, I'd be.
this is kind of fucked up, right?
I gotta shoot him some cat.
Well, he has to let them excavate it, so they probably pay for it anyways. And then,
You think they buy it at face value from him?
they'd probably say, "Hey, sir, can we do this for this much money?" And then if he was smart, he'd go, "What if you find something?"
Yeah,
So if he's not smart,
might
he'll
be
go,
something worked in the
"Hey,
contract.
can we give you this much guaranteed, and whatever we find, it's ours," because it could be nothing, and it could be one of those things where if it's nothing, then
or we give you nothing right now.
yeah, and walk
and
away,
we share.
or we give you nothing.
It was probably a lower price up front.
Either take the X amount of dollars
Yeah.
and walk away, or walk away. That's it. Because you can hardball. We could dig up dirt. We could be
Yeah.
wrong. There could be nothing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
I wonder how long they searched for it. I wonder if they dug up this guy's whole fucking thing.
A guy spent his whole life reading history books about this Spanish ship that went down. I think this is in Australia. And he like maxed out all of his loans. He got huge loans, he went down, he found a piece, he got a bunch of loans, and was like, I know where the treasure's at. Got billions of dollars worth of gold coins and treasure, or whatever the amount it was, declared it to the government, and they said it's ours. And they let him keep like 2 or 3 coins. I would have been suing. Dude, that's postal right there. They were like, nope, can't do that. It's ours. And guess what? It sits in a fucking museum in a glass case. I don't know. I don't know who I would hire. Saul Goodman, maybe. But who?
I think after you declare it, I think it's just theirs. You just give it to them.
Well, you declared as I found this treasure. So
Yeah,
they
I
can
wouldn't
make-
tell
so they can-
anyone, bro.
But here's the thing. So if
I wouldn't go to the bank with a gold coin. I'd be like, hey, I need a $10,000 loan.
I'd
get like some shitty ass scuba
you
equipment.
go to the black market with those gold coins.
Yeah, 100%. I find the shadiest person I've ever met in my whole life, and I'm like, hey, bro, you want to get rich with me?
Well, he
Black market coins. Let's run
it's not that he had to pay back. He thought that he was going to declare that he excavated this treasure,
Yeah, he's dumb.
and that the government was going to go, okay, let's say it's $1 billion. We're going to tax you for whatever, and then this is yours. But they were like, nope, that's
you
actually.
think the government's gonna buy that from
They go,
you?
nope, that's actually ours. We lost it a long time ago. Instead of sitting in a museum, it's going to be historical, and you get to keep 2 or 3 coins.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And then what? Those coins are probably maybe worth a couple thou a piece, maybe more.
No,
maybe
they're
a little
worth
more.
way more because of the historical value. It's like okay, you ever watch
Imagine working at that museum, being a curator, and just taking one coin.
yeah, you ever watch Pawn Stars, right?
Yeah.
And bringing the coins, and every now and then they're like, this is the coin of, and these are our coins printed in the 19th century, where we printed a $50 and it fucked up, so they recalled them all, so there's only like 12 left, and this is $100,000 coin now.
Yeah.
And it was originally $1, and that's from 100 years ago. This is like a doubloon almost, god damn it. So it's worth way fucking more as a coin. Like if you found that one doubloon and took it to Pawn Stars, and bro,
Well, those are certain ones. They have like the certain stamp.
if the old man was alive, he'd be like, I don't know how.
That guy died.
Yeah, he's dead. The
Oh,
old
shit.
man. He
I
was
didn't
like,
know he died.
he was yeah, he.
When was that?
A couple of years ago at least.
Holy shit.
Like right before, like there was that all those allegations against Chum Lee, but I don't know if there anything.
I didn't even hear about that.
So I don't think they're allegations.
On my Pawn Stars.
I will say this about you, Yahoo. You're a little tricky clickbaity. They'll always have articles of like, you'll never guess what got Chum Lee in trouble, and they'll show Chum Lee really skinny, but it's articles that are sponsored ads.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who's clicking on this And they disguise it though. They disguise it.
It's just like the news, dude.
If you were an old person, you just think it was another square that you click on for a news article, but it is clickbait. And so I don't think anything ever happened. But yeah, he passed away, but they would be like shitting bricks. Because even when they get like a working gun from like, I mean, the only thing cooler that I'd pay probably top dollar for is someone was like, there's a samurai sword that was like passed down from whatever. I'd be like, I don't care what story you're telling me, and as long as you got the papers, dude, and it's a legit story, dude, I'm buying.
I saw that meme. It was the TikTok, and it was the dude that was like, everyone's gonna be jealous, and he pulled out the Master Sword, like he had it like sheathed on his back, and he's just holding it, and he's like, fuck you guys.
I mean, like ever since
that
we
would
talked
be
about
pretty
it,
dope to have one of those.
Oh yeah, I mean when we moved,
I don't know when I would ever use it.
I already know when I'm gonna get one.
Yeah.
Well,
now are you gonna get one forged, or are you just gonna buy one?
So I'm gonna get one for display.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have it in the background for the new studio.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hang it on the wall.
I think I gotta get one, and we should cross them. We'll have them up there, like, you know.
Get a JC Show shield.
Oh, there it is.
Like paper mache it.
There it is. Paper mache. We have two like $1,000 swords and then a paper mache shield.
You can make it look good.
Let's do it.
Cardboard paper mache, dude.
Let's do it.
What is it? Glue and newspaper?
Something like that, yeah. Glue, water, newspaper.
It's whatever the.
Or no, it's cornstarch, right? Cornstarch, water, newspaper. Is that wrong?
I can't remember. I haven't paper mache it in years.
Look up what paper mache is, dude. I think it might be cornstarch. It might be just glue and water. I think it might just be Elmer's glue and water.
Paper mache. How to make paper mache. Paper mache paste, newspaper, and paint.
What's paper mache paste?
I don't know. I think this article is bullshit. Let's go to the next one. How do you make paper mache? All right. That's a YouTube video. We're not going to do that. Paper mache is just mix 1 part PVA craft glue, which is glue, to 2 parts water to make
it is.
Yeah, glue and water. Yeah, that's what I'm like. Glue and
water.
Yeah. What did you say before?
I said cornstarch.
Yeah.
You know what I think cornstarch is? I think that's that like liquid that doesn't form. It's like a solid anti-liquid.
And
you go to grab it and it like you go to grab it and it like crumbles in your hand, and then when it's not moving, it just like drips. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
People have put it in. They had it on an episode of The Big Bang Theory. They put cellophane over the top of a subwoofer, and they poured that liquid in it, and they started playing a song, and it danced like flubber.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but when you grab it hard, it like crumbles like a blue cheese almost.
And then it just reforms together.
And then it just reforms into a liquid.
That's wild.
And so if you hold it in your hand, if you grab it and hold it in your hand like that, and you squeeze it, it won't fall out of your hand. But if you let it go like this, it'll drip through your fingers.
Did you ever make those in chemistry?
Yeah. That's why I had that in my head.
Yeah. So,
but it's sick. Maybe we should make a video of you seeing that for the first time if you've never seen it.
I've seen it. So I know what you're talking about. Well, not that kind. But I've made other types of slimes. Okay. So there's 3 sets of slime.
It's not really a slime though. That's what's weird about it, because it's like when you fuck with it, when there's a lot of pressure on it.
Well, it's like a putty.
It's like chalky almost, like a really dry putty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You roll and it like crumbles up.
So we made 3.
You scoop it and hold it, it'll literally run through your fingers.
We made 3 different types. We made it very liquidy to where you had to have it in a bag, to where if you.
Pretty sure it's just cornstarch and water.
It could be.
I think that's all it is. I think it's a lot of cornstarch and a little bit of water.
And then we had 2 that you could play with. One was a little stickier, but the stuff in the bag you couldn't touch because, like, one, the dye would immediately ruin everything, like your hands.
So, I don't even know what I would Google to figure out if that was right. It's cornstarch and water, like the recipe for
putties.
For like
play putties, like say.
I'm gonna look up cornstarch and water just to see what comes up.
But basically, when you make those things, we made 3 different types, and the stuff that had to stay in the bag had to stay in the bag because even if it was green or red or blue, it would immediately stain anything that you put it on. But it'd feel really cool when you slosh it around the bag. So I was sitting in my history class, and I think
cornstarch and water. That's all it is.
Nice.
It says you add water slowly, mixing the cornstarch and water with your fingers until the powder becomes barely wet. Keep adding water until the ooze feels like a liquid when you're mixing it slowly. Then try tapping on the surface with your finger or a spoon. When the ooze is just right, it won't splash. So you just drizzle fucking water on it and mix it bitch up with your fingers. That's crazy. It's just cornstarch and water.
Yeah.
I thought I was wrong. That's why I looked it up.
No, it makes sense. But yeah, those slimes though, the stuff that you had to keep in the bag,
Yeah.
because like no matter if it was blue, whatever. But we were sitting in history class, and kids were throwing the Lunchable like gummies, like the cheap
Oh,
Walmart
okay,
brands.
yeah,
They
yeah.
were throwing them to stick them on the board while we're watching a movie. So like the history teacher, the movie's in the top corner. He's at the front, just looking at the movie like this, and kids are just whipping fucking fruit snacks at the board. So like I think that's hilarious. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a big chunk of fucking red fucking
Oh,
slime
no.
hits the whiteboard and goes everywhere. And he
Some
just
shithead
like
little kid.
he fucking heard it, turn off the movie. He's like, who threw that? And the whole room's
That's
quiet.
the worst when the teacher flicks on the lights like partway through the movie.
Yeah.
You guys fucked up.
So he flicks on the lights and he goes, everybody's hands on the desk. So palms up. So we're all, because you can't get this color off your hands because, you know, he knows.
Yeah.
So we're all sitting there with our palms up, and there's this one kid in the fucking class. We'll call him Brian, okay? Definitely wasn't Brian.
Brian, that piece of shit.
But Brian's got his hands on the desk like this, and he's just, let me see your hands. And he took his hands and he fucking slapped them on. I'm not gonna do it because we have a mic. And slapped him on the desk and just fucking peeled all the red shit was just coming off of his hands. Dude, that whiteboard was fucked up. And RIP to that teacher, because for no reason, he used to be on the second floor of the old school, of the middle school. And as a class prank, they fucking took his grandfather clock that another class built him out of the woodshop class, and they threw it out of the 2-story window onto Wright Street as like a fuck you. And it wasn't like a ha funny. It was a senior prank, as in fuck this fucker. We're gonna throw his clock out the window, dude. Allegedly, but yeah.
Allegedly.
But yeah, I heard these. Now Brian didn't do it. We didn't even have a. We did have a Brian. No, we did not have a Brian.
I had like multiple rounds.
Well, you had more than fucking 68 kids.
Yeah, no, there was more than 68 kids in my freshman PE class. Like,
Wow. My PE class was like 25, maybe.
My PE classes were giant, bro. Like they would take up, when we had like an indoor, we'd have to trade indoor and outdoor with the other classes that had at the same period.
Makes sense.
Same block.
Yeah.
So we would be in like, so our basketball court was a full-size basketball court with stadium style seating that came out. And then it had 6 courts on the sides, and then one main one. And then there was a practice court that had 2 courts on the side, and then like 1 full court going this way. But no, it was like stadium seating, it was just a room.
Yeah.
And we would take that whole thing up playing 5v5 basketball. Just our one class, 5v5 basketball. 1, 2, 3, 4 games going on at one time if it was full court, 8 if it was half. We played half court a lot.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The best. What was the best high school game you played in gym class? Doesn't have to be an official game, but like, what was the best game that you probably played in high school?
Dude, I was basketball. I was so garbage at shooting. And I was so timid on a basketball court. Like it wasn't like,
I miss layups because I'd overthink a layup.
yeah,
Exactly.
I used to do that all the time. Like my finger roll, I would roll it too much and it would just fucking boom.
If I have a better chance of
I wasn't like super athletic until after high school.
I have a better chance of making a contested shot because my brain turns off.
Oh
and
yeah,
I go
you
into
just do
straight,
it. Yeah,
just
you don't
whatever
think
mode.
about anything.
But when I'm wide open,
That's the whole thing. You're too open.
I'm too open,
Yeah.
and wide open layups would happen. Sometimes like you steal a ball and you get a wide open break, but you've been dribbling by yourself for so long that you fuck it up, and you're like, I can't believe I missed a wide open. But mine, so there's one game. It wasn't pickleball, but it's the size of a table tennis, but it's taped on the floor, and there's a wooden net. And you use almost like a pickleball racket. It's plastic, and you use a ping pong ball. And you can't step on the court, like you can't hit on the court, but you can like hit and then step off. You know, it's like you hit and then like you stumble on the court. Cool, but you can't just stand in the court and hit the ball.
Yeah.
And my gym teacher was super good at that. And I beat him one game. And he's like, no, you didn't beat me. You weren't up by 2. And I was like, I was definitely up by 2. And then he like kept playing, and we played for like 10 more minutes. He's like, see, I won. I was like, I was up by 2 though, and I won for the tie break. But the best game was probably, we had 5 plastic lacrosse netting sticks to where you could catch a ball, and it wasn't a net, it was like a plastic net, but it still worked just as good as lacrosse because the plastic piece was so tight that when the ball came in, it would hit the bottom and stay in the net, and you could flick it. we would get so violent playing lacrosse because it would just be like checking, fucking sticking, fucking hitting, and you'd be playing 5-on-5 with a goalie, of course, so
Yeah.
4v4 inside of a basketball court for indoor lacrosse, and it used to get so violent. And one day
I've never played a game of lacrosse.
and so one day though, because this was a cardio class where we would be watching Billy Blanks Monday through Thursday, up, like this is the shit I did in high school. The fucking 45
We
minutes.
didn't have a
40
cardio class.
Yeah, so
It was a
45.
weight training class.
Yeah, well, cardio was another option, and then Fridays was a free day. But eventually, throughout the semester, we'd be like, "Can every day be a free day? We're still running. We're running lacrosse's cardio."
Yeah.
So we took up the fucking full length of that. So one day the girls were like, well, "Can we play?" And we were like, "Well, yeah, but we play pretty rough." And they're like, "We can handle it." And so one girl like kind of checked somebody and threw him like off because it was like a blind hit.
Yeah.
And she's 6'3". She was a monster on the basketball court. Nice set of hips. And the kid that she did it to took that personally, like Michael Jordan on his tablet.
Okay.
And the next time that he came down and fucking she like stepped up, trucked her, dude. Scored a goal. And they're like, "Why are you so rough?" And I was just like, "You said you could handle it." And that's the one guy that one time I checked, and he was an underclassman. He played technically Division I football for running back.
Sweet.
I hit him really good, like clean hit, shoulder check, and then he came down the next time and just punished me to where it wasn't fun. It was still aggressive and but it was like I went home with bruises from just fucking slashing
Yeah.
and checking. And the thing is, I didn't like back down and was like, "Oh, this sucks." I got checked once, and then it was just like, "Oh, we're fucking doing this." And then
We never played lacrosse.
and then you get into the showers, nothing personal. Same motherfucker, nothing. But next time on the lacrosse court, fucking
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it was because I was a class above him, it was always on opposite teams because I was fair. Because it wasn't like a bunch of Earls. It was like 4 really good kids, 3 really, we like this, but we don't ever do anything for athletes whatsoever. Like we're not on any sports team. We don't do anything besides band.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing cardio. But yeah, it was fucking gnarly.
We never played like rough sports after high school. There was one I cracked a rib playing some pickup football. And then like after school, like with my buddies, like even at PE, there was nothing like we played like softball, volleyball.
Have you met my brother?
I've never met him in person. I've only seen pictures and videos.
So I'm bigger than him, and that was probably freshman year, 14, when I was bigger than him. So I was still a senior in high school, and his class just graduated, and it's Thanksgiving weekend. And they're like, we cut up a bunch of towels. We're gonna be playing some flag football, and he was like, "Hey, we need numbers. Do you want to play?" I was like, "Of course."
Fuck yeah.
And at the time, I had a killer. It was senior year. I had a killer season. Because the week previous at Reading, I had 170 receiving yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And a fumble recovery. So we got stomped by like 30 points. But my stat line was good enough to be the top receiver in the area because I was open. I should have got 2 touchdowns, but I was so slow that they caught me at the 10-yard line on one of the bombs. And then the second one, they probably would have caught me in 5 more yards.
Jeez.
But it was an 80+ yard touchdown. So they were like, "Oh shit, it's Jerry's brother." So when they picked teams,
Jerry's brother's just going off.
So when they picked teams, I got picked second. And then Jerry went like 5th round overall. And I was like, dude, you bring your younger brother to your friends' thing, and you get picked way after.
That's funny.
And what's really funny too is their big guy in their class, who I like when I was in high school, he was like, because he was he was actually 2 grades above, but when I was a sophomore, he was stacked. Like he wasn't tall. He was like 5'11", maybe 6 foot, but he was ripped.
Girthy.
And then when I was a senior, I was already 3 inches taller than him, and even though I wasn't ripped, I was still like huge. And so I grabbed his flag, but I grabbed his shorts and I ripped his shorts, and everybody paused and like didn't say anything. He's like, "What? That was a good play." I was like, "Oh," they're like, "Oh, I thought he was gonna fight you," and I was like, "That'd be a bad fight."
Yeah,
We're
ripped
both
shorts.
we're both fucking getting hurt.
Yeah,
I'm getting hurt. He's getting hurt. Stupid shit. Hey, what? Yeah.
So, all right, couple of football things. The NFL
Hall of Fame
Hall of Fame.
list.
It is the list of the potential candidates. These are the modern era finalists. So Jared Allen,
Mm-hmm.
Willie Anderson, Rondé Barber, Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, Torrey Holt, Andre Johnson, Albert Lewis, Darrell Revis, Joe Thomas, Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, Reggie Wayne, Patrick Willis, and Darren Woodson.
Yep. Devin Hester's left off that list.
Devin Hester's on there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he was right after Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester. Unless I said his name wrong.
I don't think he did.
So they're voting on these. They're not in the Hall of Fame yet. This is the potential class. So these are the modern day guys, like the guys of the last like 20, 30 years
I thought
that are eligible.
So, not to cut you off, but like yesterday they came out with the class.
Oh, did they already finalize it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I was reading
you named out the list, and I was like, there's so many. I was going to talk about the same subject.
No, so I was just going off of these are just the guys that the finalists that didn't get voted yet.
So at
Okay.
at 26.
So let's see who made it out of that list. I have no idea. That's my initial reaction.
Okay, so out of the Pro Football Hall of Fame class, we'll put their pictures up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start at the bottom because Joe Klecko.
Okay. Obviously, Devin Hester didn't make it.
No, that's why I was sad. You're like, he's nominees. And I was like, no, they just, and so I had to look
He's
that
a
up.
nominee.
Don Coryell, the head coach of St. Louis in San Diego.
Okay.
Never heard of him. Chuck Howley, a linebacker from Chicago and Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Ken Riley, the defensive back from Cincinnati. Zach Thomas, linebacker, Miami and Dallas.
Okay.
Rodney Barber, defensive back for Tampa
Rondé.
Bay. Rondé?
Yes.
I thought it was Rodney.
No.
My whole life, I thought it was Rodney Barber.
I'm pretty sure it's Ronde.
Yeah, but
Rondé.
Rodney Barber.
No.
We'll look it up after. Joe Thomas, tackle for Cleveland, played with how many quarterbacks? 16, whatever.
How many sacks did he give up?
0.
Not a single goddamn one.
DeMarcus
Fucking
Ware
wild. Like that.
and Darrell Revis. Revis Island deserves it. I think that my biggest
Rondé
Barber.
Yeah. You said Rodney multiple times.
Yeah, but I'm saying it.
I was like, it's not Rodney.
Yeah, but that's just how I always said it when I was little. Rodney Barber.
It's good. Who'd they leave off of that? Was fucking Reggie Wayne was left off of that?
Reggie Wayne is not on there.
Jesus Christ. I thought for sure Reggie Wayne was going to get in.
Peyton Manning's one of his main.
Dwight Freeney's not on there either, huh?
Nope.
Wow. So
Rodney
Barber. Jared Allen was left off. That makes sense, though. Torrey Holt was left off?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Torrey Holt's he's top 5 for all-time receiving categories. Like, he's in there a few times for catches and...
I mean...
That's crazy, dude.
Because I was like, yeah, dude, the Hall of Fame
That's
list just came out.
crazy.
I was like, I can't wait to talk about some football shit with you. And by the way, Super Bowl's coming up.
Super Bowl's
we
coming
gotta
out.
censor that. We can't say that.
Really?
Yeah.
Who cares?
So 20.
No, let's get sued for it. You take all $2 of our dollars.
No, but you gotta say the big game
The big game
for advertisements.
The Super Bowl big game.
Yeah,
The Super Big Bowl.
I'll just leave it in there to be real. 'Cause
I just leave it in.
until they're like, you got it.
If the NFL mentions us, that'll be the caption of our next video.
The cease and desist letter will just hang.
Right fucking there. We'll take that Green Bay shit down.
If I can find it, I have it in a box. I still have my first LOR. And
I got my last one.
I got my first LOR for whatever I did that wasn't really my fault, but I took the punishment because who cares? And I was like, I always want to put this in my office. You'd be like, you know what that is? That's failure. And it's really funny.
That's failure.
It's,
Like you pointed right at the CMU logo. Yeah, I see that.
that's failure. I majored in broadcasting, and here I am. Here I am today.
You are
121
like that.
episodes deep, dude. I have a question for you before we go on to our next thing.
Let's hear it.
It's a scary situation. You're in your bedroom. You're in the master bedroom.
Mhm.
You're in the bed. You hear a thump in the night. Something scary's going on, or it could be a ghost. Whatever your most scary situation. If that's a burglar, if that's a ghost, you just need the lights on like that. Okay. What would you prefer to be the lighting arrangement in your room? Would you rather have the cord switch be the thing that you leave on and off in the night, or would you rather have it be the flick switch on the wall?
All right. My initial reaction is the wall switch.
Okay.
My initial reaction is the wall switch because I feel like, knowing me, if it's like a scary situation, like I'm in like a horror movie or something, and I need to get those fucking lights on, dude, I dive for the light and just give the biggest fucking up flick you can do. If that string's right above me, I'm gonna grab it and yank as hard as I fucking can, and it might not light up.
So when you go to bed at
Like
night,
there's a higher chance that I get that light switch up than there is.
So when you go to bed at night,
off.
do you turn the light switch off at the light switch?
Light switch.
I'm a pull cord man.
You're a pull cord through and through.
Because when I can wake up and lean forward, I can instantly grab that light switch.
Yeah, but if it's something that scares the shit out of you, and you're like, oh, like I'm ripping that cord out of the light, like it's boom.
Not
and
me.
It might not. I would, dude. If I'm scared like that, like you're in a horror movie, like let's say you go to bed knowing that there's a murderer after you, and then you hear something fucking right outside your door, like, and you're like kind of awake, but you sort of hear it, and you jump up and do it. You're not gonna go.
Yeah, but the light switch is right next to the door, so I gotta get out of the bed and go.
I'd rather do that, and I barricade the fucking door, click on the light, like, what the fuck is it?
I'd rather, if the light doesn't work.
I think as knowing me, I know I'm gonna grab that thing and just I'm gonna yank it out of the fucking thing. Like I'm just gonna, like, the harder I do it, the faster it comes on.
I think with training,
but
I think in training, as many times as I pull it all the time. So I know exactly. So I think because it's such a second nature, it's going to be a quick little thing for you. It's not going to be like I'm falling out of the sky, I'm grabbing, and I need to pull down as hard as I can for my dear life. But I'm just saying, like,
so I think my initial thought process would be the faster you pull the cord, or the harder you pull the cord, the faster the light turns on. And I just know I'd rip that bitch out. It might turn on, it might not. I don't know. I just
know when I'm really scared, even if I did, the light switch would be like not fast at all.
Yeah. I mean, nothing's fast enough, right?
Yeah.
Like nothing's fast enough.
I would be like,
oh, I would dive and just bop that thing up like as fast as I could. There is a chance that I bop it too hard and it flicks back off though. That's also an issue. That's a concern. In high school, I slept on a futon from the time my freshman year to my senior year. And it was a comfy futon. I never folded it into a couch. But underneath the futon, if I was laying in bed and I was smoking weed and I was like playing Skyrim or something, just like laying there playing, and I wanted the light off, I would have to physically stand up out of it and click it. So I tied a rope to it.
Yeah.
And looped it underneath the futon, like all the way to the other side, like going up to a fucking nail I put in the wall.
Yeah.
And so if I was playing Skyrim, I could just go like that and bap it and it would shut the light off.
Yeah.
And if I was in bed, I could reach underneath and do the same thing and it would turn it off.
I believe it was in Earl's grandma's Michigan basement. She had a light for the main, it was a tradition, like my grandparents' basement, but he just put because the router he could just run the cord down.
Yeah.
Put a TV down there. But in the room where he just put a couch for the TV, there was a pull cord that his grandma ran a string all the way down to the ground for us. So when we were about to start playing games, you could just reach right here and click the light off because there's like a fucking 9-foot string coming off that light, dude. So you never had to stand up and turn off the light because she knew.
She knows.
And it wasn't there always. It was when we started playing games. And then she came up and she's like, oh, why is it so dark? And Earl stood up and then she was like, oh, we're just playing games. We don't want the glare, And she's like, oh, okay. And then we came down and there's just like a string, and it had one of those little end pieces.
Oh, the little tips.
Yeah,
like the tip
a
of the
string
shoelace,
tip.
but it's like a bell
And I was
almost.
like, yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, how the fuck did she do this?
Yeah.
She just found one, stuck a hole in it, did some grandma shit with it.
Grandmas are innovative.
Yeah.
I have one more NFL thing. It was, I don't know if you saw this. Trent Dilfer said that he's not impressed with modern day quarterbacks. There's a direct quote from him that I'm going to have here in like 2 seconds.
Okay.
So it's talking about it says modern day game does not impress me. I love Tom Brady. I love Aaron Rodgers. I love these guys. It's not impressive. So he's saying all the talent nowadays for quarterback isn't impressive because back in the day it was harder to play. So Tom Brady and Trent Dilfer played in the same league together for 7 years.
Same era. Yeah.
Well, Trent Dilfer was a little before.
Yeah,
Not by much.
but they played at the same time span
For 7 years.
Okay.
During that 7 years, Tom Brady wins 80 more games. No, that can't be right. Oh, all right. Tom Brady had 80 wins in that 7-year span that they played in the same league.
If you hear snoring, it's the door.
That's 15 more wins than Dilfer had in his entire career. He was in the league for 13 years.
That's wild.
So Brady, in that 7 years that they played
Same
at the same time, he had more wins than Trent did his whole career.
Yeah.
So anything Trent says about that is just
like that old man clip that I sent you. Anybody that hates Tom Brady, they're just haters to hate.
yeah.
The greatest ever.
They're like, oh, he wasn't perfect in the Super Bowl. It was perfect example. The first draft we ever had for the NFL FFS,
Mhm. I
I was at Buffalo Wild Wings with Nick, and these guys across the table, they were talking shit because I was wearing the Brady jersey. And they're like, oh, how many Super Bowls did Brady lose? And I was like, I don't know. How many NFC championship games did Montana lose? And they just didn't say anything. And they sat down, and one of the dudes was like, oh, he shut you up pretty quick. And that was all they said.
Yeah.
And then they bought me a beer because they were nice.
It was like the one game in San Francisco where Green Bay was playing San Fran.
Yeah.
And we beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Or no, was it the Raiders?
Green Bay?
I was wearing my Packers jersey, and they were playing a California team in Green Bay.
It was Green Bay Raiders. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were talking all that
Oakland,
shit.
and we were in B-dubs. And right at the
Got
early,
there at 9 a.m.
and people were fucking talking shit. And then 2 quarters in the game, it was just the quietest motherfucking place. And every time we scored, I'd be like, yeah, what now, dude? That's the best.
All right, I got one more.
Yeah.
Basketball.
Okay.
All right, so how many people do you think in NBA history have gotten scoring titles, like score the most points in the season, and won the finals in the same year?
I think it's like 2.
So there's 3 people that have done it.
Yeah. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry. Let me get 3 more guesses. Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Laimbeer, and the last guess I have is either Magic Johnson or the Bird. Then I'm out.
Kareem did it in 1971.
Abdul-Jabbar, damn.
Shaq did it in 2000.
Shaq.
Michael Jordan did it in 91, 92, 93, 96, 97, and 98.
I knew he did in 96, yeah.
So, I don't know. So the all-time scoring thing, I think that just cements Bron as having the greatest NBA career of all time. Can't really say anything else about that. I still like Jordan better. For his era, Jordan. So LeBron never led the league in scoring and won a championship. That's not like the end-all be-all, but for me personally, I think it's Jordan.
So as a LeBron hater,
yeah,
I see a LeBron hating content. So one of the things was one of the times that he did win the scoring title. I think it was 96, and it was a press conference with Michael Jordan. And he's like, I don't think I'm the best scorer ever. People play in different eras. I don't think I'm the best ever. And then LeBron goes, "I think I'm the best ever. I've been playing. I'm the
Yeah.
best." And then here's the Dave Portnoy hate, which I'm all for as LeBron hater because
Fortnite, yeah.
because
Fortnite's a big
because
hater. He
he
also hates Tiger,
he
though.
scored 38 points.
Mhm.
Oh, that's okay. Portnoy, that's points against you. That's
Yeah.
if there's House Portnoy, that's minus 20 points.
The Masters that Tiger won recently,
Mhm.
they did a whole live stream and they did like a bet. I don't remember what it was, but like the Barstool golf guys, Riggs, he did a bet with Dave, and he was like, he's gonna win it. He's like, no, he's not gonna win shit. He's like, there's absolutely no way in hell that he wins it. And they watched it live right before Tiger was gonna hit, like he was on like the back nine. He had like 3 holes left.
Yeah.
He's gonna win. Fucking Dave's like, hey, I gotta make this phone call. He's like, what do you mean? It's almost over. What are you talking about? He's got like two putts left and he wins. And he's like, I gotta make this phone call. Sorry, I gotta leave. And he just leaves. Doesn't finish the live stream. Just dips out.
Dude, that was
Dave just dips.
so for the JT showers, I was buying said casa where the studio's at, and I had money.
It's one of the worst bad beats of all time.
And Ken was like, we can bet 1,400 together, and that wins us X amount. And I was like,
1,400 netted us like 14 grand. It was something
yeah,
crazy.
it was 7,000 a piece.
Yeah, 7K a piece.
And I was like, I literally can't, because they will literally look at a $700 gamble as I can't give this motherfucker a loan, because they were monitoring all my cash. And they're like, what's this $50? I went out. How many times a night do you go out? You're like, oh god damn it. And so they monitor when you buy a house, they look at all your purchases.
Yeah, no, I know.
And so it was the worst timing of Tiger to ever win in the history of
I hit up multiple homies too, and I ended up not putting any money on it because I was like, I should have just done 700 of my own, but I wanted the big number win. I wanted the big number win. It would have been a big number win.
And then
so that's on me.
And then
that's on me.
And then Game of Thrones came out the same night right after, and it was probably one of the greatest days of my life, because not only
because it was like the finale too, wasn't it? Wasn't it a big episode?
It was the premiere of the
last premiere. Season. I was gonna say it was a huge episode
where the Dothrakis light the torches on fire and then go off into the darkness and they all evaporate.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're fucked. Yeah, it was great. It was a great day, but it was a sad day in betting wise, because
I talked so much shit. I still talk shit. Obviously, we're still talking about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of bets, I'm trying to make the show better. We're I started with $5 and I'm sitting at 106 right now. And I'll live check what I'm at, 'cause I'm not going to gamble on the pod, but I'll live check where we're at. The closer I get to a PC, the closer we get to more content.
Yeah.
And better content, I think. Like all around. Everything. It's all going to improve. We talk about improving every podcast, I feel.
Yeah, but we set a deadline a couple weeks ago. It's April 1st, April Fool's Day, to be in the new studio. So it's still early parts of February.
It's February 10th.
And there's still the whole month of March.
Yep.
So at the beginning of March, I will be ordering the tower to record the PC on.
Okay.
That means the only other things that we truly need is some wall paint. Easy. The flooring. Easy. And then the Ethernet cable, and that's about it.
Yeah. Ethernet cable probably run you like $40 the most.
Yeah, probably like 20 with shipping.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it on eBay.
Oh, smart.
Because you can buy a 100-footer for like 20 bucks.
Too easy.
Yeah.
Too easy.
And just put it right through the floor. February 10th, it's Friday. Harry Potter came out.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about
February 7th, the night of, like midnight. Okay, go pee. I
want to talk about Harry Potter.
We'll pause it.
We gotta do that. The Joe Rogan pause.
Yeah, first one.
First one out.
43:30.
It's a big thing.
That's crazy, because that's crazy.
Where are we at?
43. Here, I don't want to go with it.
I'm gonna lie, I'm so high. I thought we'd been talking for like an hour and a half.
No, I've been looking. I was like, oh, we're barely at 40 minutes.
I'm very high. I shouldn't have hit the bong for the podcast. That's got to be a new rule.
Okay, well, I'm fine.
No, I know you're fine. Not me though. No bong for me before the pod.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so we'll start at 45, 45.
There we go. All right. Harry Potter.
After the pee break, no pee break.
Sorry.
We never Joe Rogan pee break, but we just did. So we edited. We don't really do a lot of edits, but peas happen. Harry Potter Legacy. You're at what, 10 hours now?
Yeah, unfortunately, I should be at fucking 12. But
yeah, I'm at just 9. So we're right around the same level.
Mhm.
So we'll just count out of 9 hours. Out of 9 hours of gameplay, I take my original rating that I gave it.
Mhm.
I bump it up to a 9.7.
A 9.7.
I'll tell you why.
It's a must-have game, huh?
One, if you hear that we're playing the Harry Potter game and you're like, oh my god, they're so against a certain group's rights. Well, we're not. Okay,
No.
we're not because
Playing a video game.
and first of all, have you tried playing a video game? No, because why? Because it's a completely inclusive game. Because not only do they have a melting pot worth of characters,
It is
you can make your character whoever they want to identify as.
Yeah.
So not only are they negating the original author's bigoted fucking views on life, because who cares?
Yeah, I mean, fuck her bigoted views, but
yeah.
she can have whatever views she wants.
Yeah, who cares? But this has nothing to do with it.
to
Like the
you
video you
people
sent me,
sucks.
like
but,
the video
you know.
you sent me,
Mm.
she gains nothing from this. So if you're mad, go fucking protest Legoland. Go fucking protest Disney World. But this game is completely separate. And not only is it separate, it's so inclusive that you can't argue with it. And
I mean, even if I don't know, it's that all aside.
Yeah,
it's just a great fucking game.
Besides all that, the gameplay, it's a
great game.
So
the first time I got on the broom, dude, I couldn't help. I was playing when I was out sick at work. You know, I was sick for the first 2 days of the game release.
I wanted to be. You texted me at 7 in the morning, and I was, dude. If I
literally drove to work, and I legit wasn't feeling good because I came home and I napped for like 3 hours. But I was at work. I left my vape at home. Wasn't feeling all that great, and Harry Potter just came out. I was like, I clocked in for like 2 minutes. Like I clocked in, thought about it, clocked out, called them. I was like, I gotta go home. They're cool with it. Love the company I work for. They're great.
Well,
the moment I got on the fucking broom, dude. The moment I got on the broom.
That was day 2.
I could not help but just smile. Like I had a big ol', I was like, oh shit. And I was like, I gotta position myself perfectly on the Quidditch pitch, send a pic to the boys, in my stupid dragon shades, and at the time the pink top hat.
So the only other game that I can say that this probably goes to the same excitement is Destiny, because how hot it was when it first came out. That
I wasn't a part of the Destiny wave.
So when it came time to okay, so Destiny, why it was cool is every Tuesday would reset its online gameplay for the major events.
Mm-hmm.
So if you use this class against this class, you get this exotic weapon if you complete. You essentially you would line up your classes to kill the bad guys with all of your characters.
Yeah.
And then you would fucking get a cool exotic at the end of it. And it was a weekly thing that you'd grinded every single week. That was crazy. One of the curtains fell down. But it's the dogs. Anyways, so when I jump on Harry Potter and I don't even realize I'm about to start playing, I'm smiling because I have so much fun shit to do.
Yeah.
Because I just got the broomstick.
Yeah.
I'm just about to go to Beast class.
Oh, dude, the Beast class.
You're spoiling it. Oh yeah, the main story. We never knew there was a Beast class in Harry Potter. But
it's a great fucking video game. I'll revise mine. Because what I gave it the first time, I gave it like an 8.7, didn't I?
I gave it an 8.4.
Yeah, I think I gave it an 8.7.
And that was at like 5 hours in.
I was a little bit ahead, but at the same time, I think I revised mine. I'm gonna give it a 9.4. I don't think it's for everybody, and I'll give it another rating at the end of it too. Could go down, could go up.
Yeah.
But It's such
And
a
what's
good game.
your house?
Slytherin.
Yeah, I'm a Ravenclaw.
Slytherin. So I've every time I took the Wizarding quiz for the first time after I watched Harry Potter all the way through for the first time, because I'd only seen like the Sorcerer's Stone and one other one, and then me and a girl watched all of them in like a 2-week span. Just binged all of them. Yeah, just a girl.
Hey girl.
Random girl. I think it was 2.0. But it was we watched all of them. I pointed out all the plot holes that I saw immediately. You know, it's Harry Potter. It's made for kids. But
Yeah.
I took the test. Got Slytherin. She was Hufflepuff or something. So one of the weird ones.
Yeah.
I deleted it and then took it again like 6 months later when I rewatched the 2 last episodes or the 2 last movies. Slytherin again.
Yeah.
Took it again like a year later at my cousin's house. Slytherin again. Took it one last time right the morning that I came home, right before I took a nap. I took it. Gryffindor.
Weird.
And I was like, that's weird. And I linked my accounts and loaded in, and it was like Gryffindor, and I was like, nope, Slytherin. I was like, I've been a Slytherin.
I think it's one of the
since the first day I took the test.
I think it's one of the best opening tutorials.
Oh, dude, it was
a
great.
game
It was great.
in
It
a
let you
lot-
do everything you wanted to do other than fly.
Because like I was saying, it's not. I just arrived, go to your classes and learn some shit.
It's not hit these targets. It's fight for your life.
Here's a little bit of backstory.
Yeah.
That's the main plot of the game that you know
Yep.
nothing about, but now you realize that you know nothing. Jon Snow.
Oh yeah,
here
I'm still Jon Snow.
Yeah, dude, still Jon Snow. Dude, there's and one of my favorite parts is as a 5th grader, Harry Potter came out, and I'm pretty sure I don't think we read it as a class, but I'm pretty sure like we did like a project on it as a class, and because like the movie was coming out or something, where like it was a huge event because he was a 5th grader, essentially like 5th going into 6th grade.
Yeah, 10 years old, right? 10, 11?
Yeah, he was
Whatever it was.
he was my age
Yeah.
when he got selected to Hogwarts. So as a kid reading a book, you're like, oh shit, this could be me. And then growing up with the series, of course I read the books. I read the books so much that my mom liked the books, okay? And this happened with Goblet of Fire because I checked the first 2 books out of the library, and then she started reading them, and then she didn't want
you to get ahead of her.
So no, well, she didn't want me to ruin it. Like not like ruin it as in the story. She thought I was just gonna ruin the book. So
Hey, to the new video game.
yeah, Hogwarts Legacy. So the first one, Sorcerer's Stone. I always remember that book because my brother took it out of the library at his school, and he ruined it because it got wet.
Oh, she didn't want you to ruin the book or the story?
The book.
Hilarious. I
Because-
thought it was the story. I thought she was mad that you're
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
No.
And I was like, you are known for
Yes. No.
that.
My brother checked Harry Potter out of his school's library and got it wet. And like a wet book, like I have one,
Yeah.
the wrinkly pages.
Fucks it up.
So they made him buy him. They charged us $14 to buy a new book, but we kept the shitty book. So I read the first book.
Huh?
Checked the second book, Chamber of Secrets, out of my library. Loved it, and
How old were you when that?
probably 6th, 7th grade.
The first time I ever read a real book, like a real one, like someone forced me to sit down and read a book that was more than like 20 pages.
Mm-hmm.
It was O.J. Simpson's If I Did It.
That's like
And I was like
20.
13, 14.
That book just came out. No way.
No, it came out in prior to 2010, maybe 2011, 2010. If I Did It, O.J. Simpson. It's been out for a long time. I read it in high school and did a whole book report on it.
2007.
Yeah.
It did come out a long time ago. Yeah, that's right.
That was the first book that I ever read cover to cover. I didn't read anything else.
That's like
I got out of reading To Kill a Mockingbird the first time.
that's like when I was
And
in high
then in the next like year, it was a different teacher and a different curriculum because I did like some weird jumping around.
Mhm.
Because I was in like this, it was a health academy thing. I wasn't stupid. It was a health academy thing. And in the second year health academy, they make you do the To Kill a Mockingbird. So I did read To Kill a Mockingbird.
I love that book.
It But the first time I did it, I did the Cliff Notes thing. I went online, found out what Cliff Notes was. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Aced all my tests.
To relate to Kill a Mockingbird, I like to read at that age.
Mm-hmm.
And I went home and I read like the first chapter. I was like, oh, and I read the second chapter because I wasn't tired. And then the weekend happened and I had nothing going on, so I just read the rest of the book. And so, like, when you're in class, and she's like, okay, so what do you think's gonna happen? I'd be like, oh, probably this. And she's like, did you read
You
the
were
whole...
that fucking loser in class that read the whole book night one.
Well, I was like, well, I know
we had a girl. All right, so I'm gonna drop this girl's name because I've never seen her on social media ever.
Okay.
She was, and I don't know what she's doing now. Ever past like 9th grade, maybe. I don't even know what she did after 9th grade. Her name was Holly Kinsel.
Okay.
And she was I thought she was the smartest fucking chick in school, in like elementary school.
Yeah.
And she read all the Harry Potters in like 1st grade. Like, just read them all. This was 1st grade for me. It would have been what, 96, 97, 98.
95 was kindergarten for me, so 96 is 1st grade.
I was born in 93.
Yeah, so probably
So 96, 97, 98.
You got to be 5 or 6. So
yeah,
98.
so 98. Yeah, 98, 99 was 1st grade for me. That's when she read those. She read all the ones that were out. She read them.
Yeah.
She read all the Lord of the Ring fucking books.
Yeah.
She read like so many books that I thought were dope.
Which, by the way, I saw the movie. I saw the movie and I checked out the book to be cool.
Yeah.
I couldn't read it.
Couldn't read it.
Had to check it back in.
She had like her words per minute like read were insane. Like, she was just like the pinnacle of education in my eyes at that point. And I like admired her for it. I tried to read it. One of my buddies had the fucking Sorcerer's Stone. I tried to read it.
Yeah.
I hated reading. I hated it. So I had to like work for the story. I was so used to movies. I just hated it. I tried to read it. I couldn't do it. And she would like walk to school with books in her hand, like old school. Like, she would have books in her hand that she was reading on the way and then stopped reading because she was crossing the street. Like, she just had books on her, like in her bag, in her hands. Like, she had cargo pockets. They'd be in her fucking pockets.
Yeah.
Like, she was smart as fuck. I never heard anything about her grades, so I just assumed she got straight A's. No idea what she's doing now. I hope you're really smart. I hope you're doing some crazy shit.
Yeah.
She's probably a fucking poet, though. A broke-ass artist somewhere. That's how those types turn out, right? They're the fast burners.
Or they're just so disinterested in things that matter, but they're really smart, so they don't really apply themselves to
She's
things.
Probably really smart in a low-paying
job, where she's
not even low-paying, just a low-thinking job.
Yeah.
But she's probably wildly excelling at the low-thinking job.
Yeah.
Like, wildly. Like, she was like the youngest manager ever.
You turn around, there's the fans moving because of the air, so that's why that curtain fell earlier.
Yeah,
because it was, I saw it waving, and I was like, we gotta move the podcast.
It's a ghost, Harry.
Yeah. But to relate back, so by the time the 3rd book came out, my mom caught me reading the 2nd book after I went to sleep, like after the lights are out. But I wanted to read, like there'd be times where you have the sheets over your head and you'd be playing the Game Boy on the covers. But when the 2nd Harry Potter book came out, I'm like, oh, I want to read Harry Potter, but it's 10 o'clock at night, so I'd have a flashlight under the covers in your room and you'd be reading Harry Potter. And my mom got me reading Harry Potter. She's like, oh, what are you doing? I was like, I'm reading. She's like, oh, is this book so good that you don't need sleep? And I was like, yeah. And then so she reads through the first 2 and she's like, this is great.
She loved that.
So she purchased.
Did she love the movies?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so I
would have a watch night with her, like once every month.
Goblet of
we
Fire.
Just watch a new movie every month. We just watch through the whole series with her parents.
So there's 3.
We can do that this summer on Fridays with your dad.
There's 3 things I owe.
Go off with your dad and then watch Harry Potter with your mom.
There's 3 things I owe Robin. There's 3 things.
I gotta be high for it.
There's 3 things I owe Robin. A round of golf, because we're both lefties.
Robin's a lefty?
Yeah, because my grandpa.
Wow.
My grandpa's a lefty.
I didn't know it was hereditary.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, my mom's a lefty in golf.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, batting.
Are you
Baseball.
sure she's lefty? Or
And
she's
hockey.
just bad at both?
No, she's left. No, righty's the main. When I was growing up.
No, I know, but some people are so bad at a sport
she,
that it doesn't matter what hand they use. They're just
so she's right-handed in bowling too, like me. But she's lefty in kicking. She's lefty in hockey.
Were you taught that as a kid, or was that just something you fell into?
No, as a kindergartner, when I was first going through school, they'd be like, kick with your right foot, and it'd always feel fucked up.
Okay.
And then when I started kicking with my left,
That's so crazy. What's your the foot that you get most launch off of when like if you're gonna try and dunk a basketball? Left, same.
left.
So I the left is my
Because you're
plant.
right. Because your right's your
Yeah.
strong hand.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Okay.
so
All
the
right.
opposite of your body. You launch. So
I was just saying because like normally
even
like
in
the
track, even in
yeah.
track, or when you're in football.
So your kicking foot is your right foot or your left?
So the only other thing is if I'm lining up off the line, my right foot's back.
Okay.
Because my left foot's not going to launch as far forward.
Yeah.
But if I'm kicking with my left foot, so my right foot is.
So you kick left.
Yes, 100%.
So you're okay. That's interesting.
I'm a lefty.
So yeah, but so that's interesting. So your plant foot for jumping high is your left.
Yes.
It's also your kicking foot.
Yes.
So your plant foot and kicking is your right.
My plant foot and kicking is left. But if I'm
No. You're all right. So you're kicking a football. What foot makes contact with the ball?
left.
So your right foot's your plant foot.
Yes.
For kicking.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So for me,
your plant foot's your left foot. Your kicking is your right foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't. So I can bowl ambidextrous. I can play softball ambidextrous.
I can lefty putt. I can very well.
Putting's well. So I grew up playing with right-handed golf clubs.
Yeah.
So I can putt right-handed fine.
My cousin had a putter that was like the dual-sided one, like the OG like iron mashed together putter.
Yeah.
And we used to go with my grandpa all the time, and I would try his, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'll try this lefty," and I would putt lefty, and it was almost like when I would feel the putt, it was more like not natural, but more robotic.
Yeah.
Like I could mimic the same movement easier because I wasn't trying so hard. But the other way, it was weird. Maybe I'm a lefty putter. Maybe that's gonna drop my fucking handicap. Maybe I'm not gonna invest in a lefty putter. I find a lefty putter for like $8 at the store and I try.
So like distance wise, I can't compete with my natural, but the basic mechanics of do I need 100 yards? Mm-hmm. I can hit right-handed no problem.
Yeah,
because it was hard.
Well, I've seen it.
Well, yeah, but I can still hit it.
We should practice.
I will say though, golf is different because it's much harder.
Yeah.
But I was in a softball tournament, and we were playing a backwards tournament where you run to third base as first base, so you run to your left.
I remember those.
So here I'm lining up on the right side of the batter's box, and it feels, I want to say a word. It's 5 letters. Strange is another word for it. But Charles Dickinson
feels gay.
No, queer. It feels just queer. But anyways, yeah. So I'm sitting in the batter's box, and I'm like, "Oh, this is a backwards tournament, and I haven't batted right-handed since I was in like t-ball." And they're like, "Why do you look weird doing it?" I was like, "It doesn't feel natural." And they're like, "Oh, he's the lefty," and I just started cranking it. So I'm here in slow pitch softball, and I hit a homer.
Okay,
like barely though. Like if it wasn't to the left side of the field, it would not go out. And they were like, "He's cheating. He's a right-hander." This is in Clovis.
Yeah. And
they're like, "He's a right-hander. This is bullshit." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, whatever. Line me up left side." And then binged it opposite corner, fucking opposite side because it was outside. Just I withdrew, hit it, fucking beamed it. Yeah. And I was like, same result, bro. I'm in. and in bowling, I can do it. I'm amphibious. But to circle back to a big loop. Goblet of Fire came out. It was the first real hardcover book.
Yeah.
Had Harry on the front. It was very green. My mom would keep it in her room, and she would put a bookmark in it.
Oh yeah.
And then I read past the bookmark, but at one point I mistakenly put the bookmark in it, and she's like, "I lost my place," and I was like, "If you just let me read the fucking book." So she still finished that book before I did.
Funny.
Yeah, dude, that's how I
never had. So my dad is super into reading books, like that's super. Like he's read thousands of books.
I'm trying to read a book a month in 2023. and I'm still a book behind.
I was gonna say, dude.
I'm only 200 pages through a 400-page book right now.
Jesus Christ.
Star Wars.
I haven't even started with the fucking Targaryen book I have, dude. But my dad, so there was some book, I don't remember what it was. It sounds fucking wild. It's like these tiger space people. They're like Ligans. I don't know what it is, spacecraft, something like that. But there's like a shit ton of these books, like more than 10, because I've seen. My dad had a stack of them.
Kind of like a Star Wars thing where like there's multiple series of
but it's like a low end, it's like a B grade fucking sci-fi book.
Yeah.
And it's
like if you read, you would know
fuck out of these, dude. Like, because he was super into reading. He read the Bible 3 times.
Like Animars.
He read the Bible 3 times.
He's from Iowa.
Just so he could he stopped being religious when he was like 12.
Yeah, but you're still from Iowa.
He quit it. But he read the Bible like 3 times after that, just so he could make arguments against people and use the Bible against them. Like that was his whole thing. It was vindictive.
In college, I read the New Testament.
Hilarious.
And
I've actually been recommended the New Testament multiple times at work.
And it's but here's the thing though, the New Testament. Okay, so the Old Testament. I read the Old Testament. And
I've been recommended the New Testament.
The New Testament is all about forgiveness and how you're supposed to live your life.
Yeah.
The Old Testament
is the modern version.
The Old Testament is like, we used to beat the fuck out of people for wearing clothes that were sewn. Oh, hey, you like your cotton shirts, but you don't want them to shrink. So
that's cotton and silk?
Oh, there's polyester in your shirt because they don't want it to shrink. And
off with your head.
Cut your dick off.
So apparently, according to the guys at work, that was a certain group of people at a certain time frame of life. That wasn't like an end-all be-all rule book.
Oh,
that was for these individuals
at
this certain time.
A timed book.
I don't know where the line in the sand is drawn, where they stopped abiding by those rules. But it was, he said it was a very specific time. That was the no tattoos. That was no 2 of the same wears. That was it was like the women do the housework type thing. It was like the men go out and provide and the women stay at home and take care of the home shit. That was like the original shit of that.
Yeah.
They said all that's Old Testament, doesn't apply to us.
I will say, as far as tattoos, and that's what Bert Chrysler says for tattoos. Bert Chrysler. I'll get a JT when we get 10,000 views on an episode.
I think we have to. Let's just get matching JT tattoos.
JT Show tattoos.
Yeah. We have to come up with a sick logo though.
Oh yeah, it'll
like a
by
stick,
that time.
Stick logo.
When we get 1,000, that's when we'll design the logo.
We'll design the logo at 1,000. Yeah. We'll design. We'll put 4 out, and then whatever gets the most votes, that's what we'll pick.
Yeah, we'll do like Ari, how he has his fans design his posters. But that was 121.
There it is.
I thank you guys so much for watching every week. New studio April 1st. That's our deadline. So we'll see.
That is the deadline.
That is the deadline. Anything else you got?
Real shortcut stumper.
Roll the clip. Okay. Hey, so we cut right down there. We were just talking about the Tom and Jerry thing. It was 83 years. I guess 86, right on the money.
He did guess 86.
It's just because
I was going to give him a 5-year give or take, and he nailed it.
Yeah, so, but what happened was, because we're updating the studio, my PC that I used didn't have enough disk space, so it cut the video at the end of the recording. So that's why we're doing it on our phone here, but thanks for listening.
It's all part of the growing process. Appreciate you guys. Hey, if you guys want a beer, shoot beer in the comment.
121. Thanks, guys. You guys have a great rest of your night.